It's hot, I'm sweating, and I've still got to tell you about Stardrift by John Morressy. Who will pity the sad old mother, now that her strong young sons have fled? Once she lived in a fine green palace, roofed with azure and ringed by stars. I believe this book was originally titled Nail Down the Stars, and it is about a young man whose father is assassinated. He's some kind of a mafia member. So he goes out among the stars and on every planetfall chooses a new name for himself so he is untraceable. And this is Cold War fiction. It is very much influenced by the Cold War. There's a discussion of the loss of intelligence and the loss of books, and there is a discussion here on nuclear weaponry. But no one thinks of the poor old woman, now that her sons have journeyed far. But most important in this book, there is a discussion of what happened to Earth, because human beings no longer inhabit Earth. They're gone. They've all been lost to the stars. Once she walked in a fair green mantle, crowned with circlet glittering blue. On her feet were slippers of sea foam. Around her hair the bright birds flew. And it speaks very much to the modern day and pollution. It's really simple. It's entirely possible the Earth was destroyed by a nuclear holocaust, but it's also entirely possible we just polluted it so badly that it was lost. We couldn't live there anymore. So it doesn't exactly tell us when this book takes place, but interestingly enough, this is a book in which books themselves have become very rare and very valuable. And the ability to read also very rare. But now she's ragged, poor old woman, drawing life from the life she knew. And I don't think that's really going to happen, although it's a common theme in science fiction. But, I don't know. Audiobooks are becoming a thing. I still prefer the old-fashioned paper method, but that's me. Now, I can't tell you this is a phenomenal book. It's not. It's not going to blow your mind. It's no Lord of the Rings. It's not going to make a great movie. In fact, I really feel as this is a group of stories that were kind of stuck together. They may have not been one thing to begin with. They may have been all of the authors. She mothered a million children, black as midnight, pale as frost, bright as the gold and varnished copper, and all are scattered, all are lost. The green is faded, the blue is clouded, the seas are choked and birds are dead. Stardrift really may be just a compilation of odds and ends that the author had sitting around. Well, I made a chapter out of this, I made a chapter out of that. Let me just sort of stick them all together so I don't have to do much more work. I mean, I believe this is pre-computer. So it being pre-computer, editing is a lot harder. And one of the truths about these books is that pre-computer books actually tend to be a little shorter on average. I know there's the Lord of the Rings series, which is massive. But yeah, okay, 1973. This was probably either written by hand or written on a typewriter. So it's a very old book. It's written in an older style. It's short. I really enjoyed it. All alone in a crumbling castle, the woman weeps in her lonely bed. And no one cares for the poor old woman left to die in her plundered home. But I can see why it didn't catch on, why it wasn't a big thing. If you come across this, I would definitely give it a read. Although personally, I wouldn't go looking for it. That's my opinion. Why don't you tell me, what's the one book you think everyone should have to read? I'd like to know down in the comments below. I'm Richard Neal.